Hello?
Hello? Test?
Yeah.
Is that it there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Alexa, turn off. Welcome to the recording studio, Randy Austin.
Yeah, thanks.
Randy. My turn?
Yeah. Do you want us to sing with you?
I have to have you sing with me because the only other time that I've ever sung this is the night that we recorded it and wrote it. Maggie's never seen it and Amanda's obsessed. They don't wear fancy suits, they are casually dressed. They are sisters-in-law and they got a show about a law firm drama that aired a few years ago. Only Suits fans, 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 only Suits fans.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to the season finale of Only Suits Fans for season 1.
Yes.
Right? We still have 8 more to go, apparently.
Amanda's getting into her notes. We started with legal pads, but then that was too hard to write on. So now we're on technology.
We're trying to keep up. Again, thank you so much for being here. We're going to do this the way we normally record the show. And then we have some awards to give out, but also you want to know what the results were for the LSAT. We'll give those live. Typically, you have to wait a little bit longer to get your LSAT results, right? Mm-hmm. How long do you have to wait, Heather?
It's like you take it, maybe like 8 months.
8 months?
Yeah. We're going to give it to you immediately, like in 55 minutes. In 55 minutes, you're going to know.
You're going to have to score your own test, but I don't know. Yeah. That's fine.
We normally clap.
Yeah, we should start with.
Will you guys help us clap? So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then clap, just so you'll know. 1, 2, 3. Right, just keep clapping.
Keep it going.
Keep it going. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you guys
so much.
That was so nice. Maggie, you finished it. We watched the last episode together.
We did.
Right. We've never done that.
Did you feel like my reaction to the last episode was what you were expecting?
Yeah, and when we get to the ending, there was a part that it was exactly how I thought your face would look, and I recorded it. It was very smug. I feel like you, not that she's normally smug, she had a very smug face.
I'm pretty normally smug.
Yeah, normally smug. I feel like it was about what I expected because you had predicted a lot of the same things if you listened to the last episode when we talked about predictions. So
yeah, I think I did a pretty good job with my predictions. It also left a great cliffhanger. Yes. I'm ready to start watching season 2. Yes. I thought season 1 wrapped it up very well and also unraveled just enough.
Unraveled just enough. Do you want to give your brief first? You
I will.
Typically kick us off with the briefs.
I will.
Okay.
I tried to be a little more Amanda Austin with this brief.
Okay, great.
Okay. The season 1 finale was a 5-star dining experience. The main course, revenge. Harvey seeks justice for Clifford Danner, who he wrongfully put behind bars as a youth, and Clifford Danner punches Harvey in the face. The first of a few bad things Harvey encourages in the name of vigilante justice. Has Harvey's quest for righting the wrongs turned him into a naughty Nelly? And while Mike is out here answering calls from Jenny, he's also refusing to talk to his former BFF about his relationship status. Mike has no problem asking Trevor to hit guys with baseball bats, but struggles to tell him he's gone to third base with Trevor's ex-girlfriend. And this is going to bite him in the booty as Trevor heads straight to Jessica Pearson to rat on his rat of a former friend. All in all, the season served up some delicious drama, and I can't wait to see what's for dessert in season 2.
That was excellent. I'm flattered that you think that I would use the words third base and bite you in the booty if you were trying to be like me. I really appreciate that. It was very thoughtful.
Thank you.
I know you wrote that in advance.
I did.
I tried to be a little less like Amanda Austin, and I just wrote this a few minutes ago because I forgot to write the brief.
Which honestly
is also what I do.
Yeah.
But there was people milling about, and I was a little nervous, so I apologize. This is probably worthy of a boxer, honestly.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Okay. All the dogs are out to fight for their lives in this season finale. After taking on an old case from the past, Harvey is left wondering if he can open up all the facts to right a very bad wrong. Lewis passes up a bribe and is forced to cooperate since he's the only employee at Lewis, Lit, and Nobody. Meanwhile, Trevor returns from Montana and makes an attempt to amend his friendship with Mike when he finds out who Mike has really been taking off his suits for. Will Trevor be the one who blows Mike's cover? Will Harvey continue to right the wrongs? Will we ever see Grammy again?
Oh, God. I wasn't ready to talk about Grammy.
That's okay. We can go ahead and talk about her now because...
Okay. Well, before we do that, though, I need to say that can open. Fabulous.
Thank you. I forgot that I actually got a can opener out for it, and in the middle I couldn't reach.
For your brief, you had a prop.
I had a
for
prop.
Your brief that
And
you
I forgot
just
to pull
wrote
it
5
out.
minutes ago. You had a
Yeah,
prop.
I went in there and grabbed it, and now that I'm looking at it, I'm glad. It is very dirty. But yeah, I have this can opener. So if you watch the show, then you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we
You would talk about
it real
Grammy
quick?
first? Yeah, we were going to talk about her later, but I think it's fine to go ahead and
Yeah,
address
I don't
it now.
want to. I mean, everyone who's watched this season knows that I am very connected to Grammy, who I haven't seen since episode 3.
Y'all can't see this right now because I'm so close to her, but her eyes are teary.
I know.
And I don't know if it's
I
because
usually
we have a
only-
live audience or because she's genuinely concerned about Grammy.
Because
But
I
she's
drank
got
a glass of wine,
and
and also
her eyes are a little red.
I usually only get this type of teary when I talk about like bread, but also Grammy has meant so much to me, and she kicked off this whole season. The whole reason why Mike is even a fake associate, but a real associate at Pearson Hardman, is because he needed money for Grammy, and then we haven't seen her again. And I think that's honestly something that everyone should be crying about.
Maggie did threaten to walk early on in the season if we didn't see Grammy again. So the fact that she's here and is gonna
Is brave of me.
is very brave. She is a brave woman. So we're going to hop into what we believe is the primary storyline here. It's the Clifford Danner storyline. This is the one where Harvey discovered in episode 11 that the old DA, Cameron Dennis, was a bad dude, and he had evidence for like tons of cases, and Harvey was working for the DA, and so he decides, you know what? I'm going to go in and right these wrongs because I want to help these people because I was a part of it. I put them in jail. Now I'm on the other side. I'm going to help them get out.
So he goes to visit Clifford Danner, and Clifford Danner is like not happy to see Harvey Specter.
Not at all.
He's like, you put me in jail. You're a jerk.
Clifford says like, hey, are you here because like you just found out you have 6 months to live? Are you dying or whatever? He's like, no, I'm not. What does he say?
He says, I'm not here for your absolution. I'm here for your redemption.
And then he also says, I don't see anybody else lining up to get you out. So there's nobody else there to get him out. Harvey's there. He's going to try and save the day because Harvey always wins. So he just knows he can win this case.
Which is funny, though, because Harvey still thinks he always wins, even though in the episode before this, we found out that Harvey has won a lot of cases because the former DA has buried a lot of evidence. But Harvey still thinks, I'm so good. I've never lost a trial. And it's like, yeah, but also you weren't playing with a full deck.
That's fair.
Is that fair?
Yeah. This brings me to my first question. Is there something that you are always confident you're going to win? Like, is there a game or something like that where you're like, I always know I'm going to win?
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, I will beat Kyle Austin in Uno. He might disagree. He did beat me the last time we played, but I will win 9 times out of 10. I would say.
Okay.
I think everyone agrees except for Kyle.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I'm very confident, and I know Uno is kind of a game of chance, but I also feel like I'm good at it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like,
You're like,
good.
you're
It's like
good.
me and playing the lottery. Like, I'm good at
Yeah.
it. I'm going to
Yeah.
win. How about you?
Well, I wish it was the lottery because I do play it a lot, but I haven't won. I think if there was anything, I don't know if there was a competition, but if there was a scenario where somebody put on a video of like a pop video and there was a lot of dancing in it from the 80s and early 90s, if I didn't know the choreography, I feel like I could learn it faster than anybody else by watching it. And not just mirrored, I could actually do it turned around. Like,
Yeah.
I think I could, you dancers know, like I could turn it around. But there's not really...
You should go on.
There's
So
not a
You Think
competition.
You should go on So You Think You Should Dance.
I did used to tweet that I wanted to be on So You Think You Can Still Dance, which I thought would be for people past the age bracket. So, but there's not really a competition for that. That would
Yet.
be the only thing. I
Yet.
think.
Yeah.
Yes. So we find out Harvey has gone to the DA, the current DA that has taken Cameron Dennis, which is Gary Cole, bye Brady, Mr. Brady Bunch. He's out. He was the DA, and now he's gone. We have a new DA in town. Okay.
That new DA,
Clarence.
is like, I'm not. Why would you open this up?
Yeah, he's like,
It's
I'm not going to
basically
do
what he
this.
said. He's like,
I'm
what
not
are we
gonna
doing?
this.
No, you're not
He's
gonna do
like,
that.
We're not going to do this.
Harvey says to Mike, he goes, Mike, give me a minute. And Mike just turns around and walks away. And then Harvey's like, I'm going to win if I go to trial because I always win. And the DA says, oh, yeah, well, you're the traitor who sold out his former boss. And Harvey's like, what? I would never do that. The new DA says, oh, you don't even know.
He did say, oh, you don't even know. Because he's trying to be threatening as a new DA. It turns out Harvey was not in on it. It was, in fact, two very powerful women back at Pierce and Hardman. And they get back to the firm. Harvey walks in. He says, my office now to Donna. And he says, you took something when we left the DA's office. Come clean or I'll let you go and I'll never give it a second thought. And it's the first time in this show that we have seen Harvey actually be mad at Donna because they work so well together. And now there's the threat of him firing Donna.
And Donna's like not even really threatened by it.
She's not.
She's like, yeah, you're welcome.
Jessica comes in. She defends Donna because Donna's the one that brought that material forward, and they got together and they got Harvey out of this mess. And I think Harvey honestly feels, in my opinion, a little emasculated and inferior. This is my opinion here, that these women have come to his rescue. They went behind his back and he didn't get to solve his problem. He was trying to solve this and he thought he had.
Yeah.
He didn't know that the deal was something different.
You know what? It's kind of similar though too. He thought he won all those cases and he didn't really.
Yeah.
And then right out the bat too, he thought that he got
Yeah.
Cameron Dennis to back up and take a deal, but he didn't. Donna did. So
Yeah.
I think he's just like, wow, I'm not a really good attorney.
No,
I don't think he's thinking that.
No, let's be clear. Harvey Specter is an exceptional attorney. He's actually really good at everything he does and everything he wears. He ends up having to get over it because Jessica does say to him, you got to get over this. How would your life be like if you didn't have Donna? Did I skip ahead?
You did a little bit,
Okay, go
but
ahead.
I think that's fine because Jessica told Harvey, like, what would your life be like if you didn't have Donna? She's really dropping some serious makes you think moments because earlier too, Lewis Litt is very upset that Harvey is taking on this case.
Okay.
He's like, so many people are going to leave the firm. This is a bad idea. And Jessica says to him, oh, well, why don't you go to Lit Nothing and Nobody, your firm? And he was like, gulp. Like, she's just like, to Lewis, she's like, go work at Lit Nothing and Nobody. And to Harvey, she's like, what would your life be without Donna? Like, she just loves Harvey
She does. She does love
so
Harvey.
much more than Lewis.
So Harvey goes and apologizes to Donna. We actually get an I'm sorry from Harvey, which is not something that you would normally expect to hear from Harvey. And he says, I'm sorry. And they have just a few minutes before trial, so they have to do this ritual, which involves a can opener. We don't know what it is. They're going to either do the ritual out in the open and then they decide to go in private. So I don't know what they do with the can
What
opener.
do you think they do? Wait.
I
okay.
can't tell you because
Do
I've
you
seen
see
the
it
show.
later? You see what they do with the can opener later?
Are you wanting me to answer the question?
Well, I don't need to know what they do, but do you eventually see what they do?
Can opener comes up again.
The can opener comes up again, but you actually see what they do with the can opener, or is it always left to the imagination?
Are you wanting me to spoil something?
I don't want you to tell me what they do. I want you to just answer the question.
That is
answer the
spoiling
question.
something. That is
Permission to
spoiling
treat the
something.
witness as hostile. Okay. Do you see the can opener physically? You see the can
The
opener?
can opener does come back again. Yes, you see the can opener.
You see the can opener. You don't just hear them talk about the can opener.
I decline to answer based on my Fifth Amendment rights. Can I do this? This isn't criminal, right?
I don't
It's
know.
only you
I
can't
don't
do that
know.
in a civil.
I
Is
don't
it
know.
okay? All right.
I don't know.
Okay. We have an attorney here in the audience, and so we have to go to her for a couple of things. She's not been fact
I'm
checking.
an attorney too of the Harvey Specter School of Law. No, yeah, well, because it leaves a lot up to the imagination, right?
It does.
But depending on where your imagination goes, like my thought is they're going to like open a metaphorical can of whoop ass. Right? I was like, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
But then I was
You
like,
just spoiled it.
is that it?
Yeah, they
Is that
just go open a
I'm looking
metaphorical
at people
can
who've
of
seen it, and
whoop
no
ass.
one's like, no one's giving me a look like you got it. No one's giving me that. But then you could also be like, what else? I mean,
I'm not. If I
Golly.
answered the question either way, then I'm spoiling.
Okay,
it for
okay,
you,
okay,
and You
okay.
have made a very.
it is a can of whoop ass.
I can't.
I'm putting it in my
not gonna confirm or deny.
predictions. Okay.
Decline to answer.
Okay.
Decline to answer. Then that brings me to my next question for you. Do you have any kind of, we're not performing quite as much anymore, but did you have a pre-show ritual, or do you just have a ritual you do before certain things that you can share with us?
Oh, you know what? I don't do this anymore, but back in 2013, 2014, I would drink a Red Bull before improv shows. Ugh.
Ooh.
Right? Like,
I don't know.
no? Oh,
Yeah, why
gosh.
not?
I would just I'd be like, I'm so nervous. I'm so anxious. Let me drink.
You get something more anxious
Propane.
juice. Yeah, anxious juice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, but that always felt like a tradition. Like, I'm going to go get one of those, and then I'll feel really good.
Okay.
What do you do?
When I fly, I take 2 Dramamine and an apple juice.
Oh, that's cute.
So, yeah, but I order the apple juice on the plane. I don't order it out in the airport. So I have to order on the plane, and if with somebody, I have to say, would you please order me an apple juice? Because I will fall asleep from the Dramamine. It's a good luck ritual for not crashing for me.
Wow.
Yeah, and I do this little meditation before we take off.
If you didn't have a Dramamine, would you be so anxious?
Well, I also take Xanax, so I think with all of it, I think if I didn't have all of those together, yes, but maybe it's just the Xanax is part of the everyday ritual.
Yeah,
So, and a good probiotic for your gut health. So yeah, I think I would be anxious if I didn't have all of those together. So I sometimes fall asleep before that. I get to take the apple juice, but I think just knowing it's there on the tray,
Makes you feel better.
yeah, it makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do have to talk about, though, so the current DA is not giving in to Harvey.
Clarence.
He's
Yes.
like, we're taking this to trial. They get up there. Clifford Danner only has 4 years left on his sentence.
Yes.
He's almost out.
Yes.
They're in court, and Harvey goes to stand up. Clarence says, we're going to go for life now. If you're going to bring this back up, we're going for life. And Harvey's like, don't worry, I'll win. Don't worry, I'll win. And Clifford's like, I only have 4 years left, right? This is interesting because Harvey, again, is putting a lot on the line for this. And so the stakes are high. Clifford could be out in 4 years, or he could be away for the rest of his life, right, if Harvey does not win.
Yes.
And that's important because when we see these guys that actually committed the crime.
Yes, they lie to Harvey. And that's when Harvey realizes we may have lost the case because I didn't realize that they would perjure themselves. And Mike says, well, why would they perjure themselves? Harvey says, perjury and murder aren't the same thing. Murder is easier because nobody is watching. Because he's have to perjure himself on the stand in front of everybody. But a murder, unless you had a big group outing for a murder, nobody is really watching for it.
Yeah.
So this is where we actually might need your help on this, Heather. Okay. So there was a dress and a camisole that were in the original case, and they had DNA on there, and it would have helped Clifford get out, right? Correct?
Yeah.
The DNA on there would have possibly would have proven Clifford to be innocent. The chain of command of the evidence going through, whatever that chain of command in, it was broken. Okay. So that means, correct me if any of these words are wrong. The evidence was not admissible in court. Pause. We're going to keep going. We're going to just know this information. All right. So it's not admissible in court. So they decide they're going to have to figure out how to get DNA on their own. If they were able to get DNA on their own and not get it legally, would it be admissible in court if the other wasn't admissible in court?
What do you mean by not get it legally?
Well, sometimes the good guys got to do bad things to make the bad guys pay. So...
Is there an illegal way to get DNA?
Oh, yeah. If somebody throws something away, the really prolific serial killer was recently caught because he loved to eat pizza while walking.
Yeah,
and
same.
He threw the pizza crust in the trash, and they kind of thought it might be him. And they just see, she's looking.
Seriously looking.
You just grab the pizza crust out of the trash. So if somebody discards something, then
you can pick it up.
You can test it.
Here's what I think, Amanda.
Don't break into their house. Wait till they throw it outside.
Yeah.
Okay, so he got some DNA. Okay,
so good. So
hang on.
Harvey's like, we need to get DNA.
Yes.
We need to get some DNA from these bad guys that we just saw.
Yes.
And we're going to get it. And we're going to do it like Mississippi Burning. Does everyone know that movie? Oh, yeah? Okay. I'd never heard of it, but I think I get it because they reference it a few times in the show. So they trick the 2 bad guys who are the murderers to go to a bar. And then they're like, oh, you called me? And they're like, no, you called me. And then Harvey's like, actually, I called you. Right? Mm-hmm. And then
they leave.
Then he gets the DNA from the glasses they were drinking. And
he's so that's legally obtained.
Yeah. He's like, this is it. Now we got it because you can't perjure DNA. We've got the evidence. We know who did it. He brings it to the DA, and the DA's like, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me because
that DNA has to match up to the other DNA, but that other DNA is not admissible. So is that the problem?
The DNA on the camisole and the that's the victim's DNA or the perpetrator?
The perpetrator's DNA.
That's the only place where the perpetrator's DNA is found? That's quite a conundrum.
Yeah, it is a conundrum.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd be able to test it against it. I don't know, maybe the test results would be admissible.
Yeah.
You'd probably get fought on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he definitely gets fought on it because the DA's like, it doesn't matter to me that you've got a gotcha moment with this DNA. The DA's like, I don't really care if I put the wrong guy away. I care about my record, and I sleep good at night. And he's like, you need to argue facts, and you can't argue facts because the camisol's not admissible because of the chain of command.
Oh, man.
So and then Harvey's just like, you know, because he's gonna, he really put everything on the line. A man's life on the line.
Well, so they have this DNA and they need to get it tested. So they go to Lewis, who is not cooperative at all. Lewis is handed we call it a bribe, I guess, right? Some tickets to the American Ballet Theater, a one-on-one dinner with Baryshnikov, also Donna subbing in as his legal secretary.
Donna really puts on the heat.
These are all things that Lewis wants. And he says no to them, not because of his morals, I don't think. Maggie, you think it's because it's a moral compass, right?
I mean, that's what he says.
He says it's because of moral compass.
And
I think it's because he wants revenge against Harvey. And if he does that, he's helping Harvey. He doesn't want to help Harvey.
And it's so hard for him to turn this stuff down because he loves the ballet.
Yeah, he does love the
ballet. That's like one of the main character traits of Louis Litt is he loves the ballet. So he's like, nope, I can't do it. And then Donna's like, okay, go see Jessica because Jessica's obviously in on it.
So instead of taking the bribe, he could have won something. Now he has to do something under an order. So the lesson here is to always take the bribe because otherwise your boss is going to ask you to do it. So take the bribe first.
And when Lewis is in the office with Jessica, he's like, I'm going to use this as leverage. When you said Lewis, nothing and nobody, lit nothing and nobody.
Yeah.
When you said lit nothing and nobody, I was really hurt because it made me think you never think I could do anything except for what I'm doing. And then I thought maybe Jessica was going to coddle him a little bit, you know, but instead Jessica says, I don't respond to threats. Go do it. And he's like,
okay. So he had to go do it.
He didn't just say, okay. He
made a face.
He was like, all right. That's what he did. That's great.
Then they're kind of screwed at this point because now they don't know how they're going to get Clifford out. Harvey has promised Clifford that he's going to get him out. So they go to see him, and Harvey gets up in his face and really starts to antagonize Clifford while they're there and has him take the cuffs off and everything. He said, hey, this guy's a human. I want to talk to him like he's a human.
And then, he literally gets in his face and he's like, hit me in the face, hit me in the face. You're going to spend the rest of your life in jail. Hit me in the face.
And he does.
And then, Clifford Daniel hits him in the face.
And Danner. Yeah, so the reason is Harvey staged this because he needed 48 more hours to figure out what the fuck he was going to do because he's really stuck. And so he has orchestrated this whole thing. He puts Clifford Danner in the hole. It gives him a little bit more time to try and pull off this Mississippi burning thing where they swipe the DNA and then they bring in Trevor, who is back. We're going to talk about him later, but you're going to have to know now. Trevor is back from Montana. He's had a nice little cozy trip up in Montana and he is back.
There's this moment where Mike hands Trevor a baseball bat, and I have never seen Trevor look more sinister or happy or whatever that look is he gives. Kind of like
it didn't even matter who it was for. He was so excited to get to swing a bat at somebody or something.
And he's going to swing the bat at Matt, one of the two guys who actually committed the murder, but the weaker one who didn't perjure himself.
Okay. Next question for you. Has somebody asked you to do something that like maybe is a little inappropriate or sinister or just like not like, I don't want to say illegal, but something like that, and you were okay with it?
What, me?
Yeah.
No.
No?
No one would ever ask me to do anything sneaky because I'm the worst.
Okay.
Remember when we were in Colorado and you said, let's mail these gummies.
Mail these gummies back.
And what did I say?
You said no.
I said no.
Okay. It's illegal. Let's just drive them across. Let's just drive them
across the border. I'm not putting them in the mail.
Okay.
Yeah, no. You? Do people ask you? See, I feel like you have an ability to be like good sneaky, where it's like the doing something bad for a good reason. And I think I get really caught, and then I can't get past the doing something bad for a good reason, and then I just spill the beans and I ruin the surprise or the fun.
Yeah.
You know?
I decline to answer.
Okay. Cozumel, 1997.
Yeah. Okay. Nothing illegal. I wouldn't do it. If somebody asked me to do something illegal, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, we also can't say it while we're recording.
Right, but I also very much am fine operating in the gray as long as it's on the legal side of the gray.
Yeah,
like, I'm not going to do anything that's illegal. Just saying this to everybody here.
To your mom and dad just staring at you.
I'm not. I've never, to my knowledge, committed a crime.
You have gone to jail, though, right?
I did go to jail.
Okay.
So. Clerical error, by the way. It was not my fault. I promise you, it was not my fault. So
Mike hands
wrapping up
Trevor the
this one.
bat.
Yeah.
So he gives Trevor the bat. Trevor goes to Matt's house and he stands over his bed and he just starts smashing lamps and he's like, "Guess who sent me? The other guy. The other guy who actually committed the murder because he thinks you went to the police." And so Matt's all shaken and he runs into the kitchen. He's gonna call, I don't know, whoever he's gonna call. And guess who's in his house? It's Harvey, Mike, and the detective from earlier.
Yeah, shady detective who turned good.
Right, because sometimes, you gotta do
Yeah.
bad things for good reasons.
Yeah. Sometimes the good guys got to do bad things to make the bad guys pay.
Yeah.
Yeah. They catch this guy. They convince him that they're like, "Look, we're gonna take you in. We're gonna get you a deal." Like, what do they give him? A year, I think.
Yeah, they say you're going to turn on the other guy because now we have the evidence. Like, you're going away. This guy's going to turn on you. You turn on him first. They convince Matt to go with the detective, give a statement. They solve the case.
Okay.
They solve the case, and Harvey wins.
Harvey wins, and he says to the DA, "I tell myself that I got one guy out of jail, and I put 2 guilty ones behind it." Harvey's a little roughed up in this scene from Clifford Danner hitting him. The DA says, "I got a little something on your face," and Harvey says, "I like you," and then he walks out. He responds, but he doesn't answer, which I love. Which brings me to another question, or we should say depositions. Also, Ryan is the one who told us we should call these mini depositions when we ask questions.
They do make me sweat.
They
I
do?
don't know what, because I don't. You
tell
don't
you.
give me the questions beforehand,
No.
and then I get
Sweaty.
like I feel like you are honestly gonna trap me in something. You know?
You can still decline to answer. If you were going to recreate a movie, they were try to recreate Mississippi Burning, what would you
Okay.
recreate?
For any reason?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay. Hot Rod.
yeah, because that's your favorite movie.
My favorite movie. I would become a stuntman
Okay.
to impress my dad.
Okay. How many times have you seen Hot Rod?
In theaters?
Yeah.
A handful.
Okay.
Fun story about Hot Rod. I recommended when my brother and now sister-in-law first started dating, I was a film major. And he was like, "What's a good movie to impress this girl?" And I said, Hot Rod. And then he texted me about 2 hours later and said, "If she never wants to see me again, I blame you." And now they're married. So I guess it's a good movie. Yeah, I would recreate that.
Okay.
I would do that. I think I could ride a motorcycle.
I think
I
you could,
never
too.
have.
But you could.
I think I could.
You could.
What would you do?
I don't know what movie I would want to create in the future. A movie that I used to recreate with my brother many times when we were growing up is the movie Parent Trap. And so
But your parents are together?
our parents are together, and we are not twins that were separated at birth. So we didn't like recreate it and go out into the wild. We just did the movie in front of the movie. Like we would sing like, "Let's get together." And so one of us would be Susan and one of us would be Sharon. We would play this because they would sleep in. Sorry, y'all slept in on the weekends when we were old enough, and we learned how to work the VCR.
Sorry, we
And-
memorized an entire movie
Yeah,
while y'all were sleeping.
Yeah, I cooked eggs in the microwave for all of us and put on the old Parent Trap. So we used to recreate that.
And this is pre-Lindsay Lohan Parent Trap,
Oh, this is Haley Mills. There's not
which I've never seen that one.
Okay, well then you haven't seen it.
Okay.
Miss Bliss from Saved by the Bell.
Oh.
Do you know that?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Miss
I
Bliss?
loved Saved by the Bell.
Okay, I didn't know if you knew Miss Bliss.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I love Saved by the Bell so much, and I watched it in kindergarten, and I was like, I'm such a Jessie Spano, right? Like, I'm so good, I'm so smart. And then one time, I had my feet on the blocks, and my kindergarten teacher was like, "Maggie, please stop." And I was like, "Oh no, I'm Zach Morris."
At least you knew your identity. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew who I was.
I don't have a movie I would recreate, I don't think.
Just
right
Parent
now.
Trap.
Yeah, just Parent Trap, I think. That'll be when we have a Patreon. Kyle and I will recreate the Parent Trap for you guys. Okay, storyline 2. We're going to hop to that really quick. This is a smaller storyline, but yet very important. Trevor has come back from Montana.
Which I did predict.
She did predict. Mike shipped him off to Montana just to get him out of there. Gave him a one-way ticket to Montana. We don't know what he was doing up there. But he's back, and he got a job at a law firm, of all places.
The law firm mailroom.
A law firm
which is where
mailroom.
Harvey
Harvey
used
started.
to work.
Mhm, yeah.
So you're like, oh, I see some potential, Trevor.
And he says to Mike, "Can I stay with you?" Which is like a little awkward because Mike is seeing Jenny, which is Trevor's old girlfriend. And
Jenny is there.
And Jenny's there. She's been staying there at the apartment.
At the time Trevor asks that, Jenny is in the shower.
Or right afterwards. Yeah, he comes in to say hi and wants to go in to use the bathroom.
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, you got a shower, girl?"
Yeah.
And he's like pretending to go in. I'm like, what a creepy weirdo.
It is. How would you feel if
If I was in the shower and a strange man came in when I was taking a shower to go pee, I would not feel good.
Okay.
I would not feel good.
I think that would be the general audience consensus.
Yeah.
That nobody would invite that in.
But that he's even like, oh, this is a thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, go pee on the sidewalk.
I think he was teasing just to get under Mike's skin, but you could see that he was under Mike's skin.
I was like, this is not a good joke.
Yeah. Trevor also wants to call Jenny, and Mike is like, yeah, you should totally call her, which is a horrible idea because Mike and Jenny are together. He's been taking his suit off for Jenny, as we know.
Right. And I honestly, when Trevor was like, I think I'm gonna call Jenny, and Mike's like, yeah, go do it. I'm like, Mike, just right there, say, I gotta tell you something. But instead, Mike's like, yeah, you should totally do it. The next scene, Jenny's like, guess who called me? And Mike's like, who called you? I'm like, it's like, you, Michael.
Yeah,
Michael
Mike's the one that
behavior.
did it. Then Rachel is really stressed about Mike, okay? Donna finds Rachel in the break room and says, let's have drinks. We need to talk about this because Rachel is still really having some feelings for Mike. Donna and Rachel are in Harvey's office having some drinks, probably while Harvey's out, trying to be a little bit of a criminal with Mississippi Burning. They've had several cocktails. Rachel says to Donna, have you ever, and she just says, have you ever? So we have to assume it's not like, have you ever gone on a picnic or have you ever gone to Six Flags with Harvey? Like, have you ever anything? I think we're
used a can opener.
And we're assuming she means have Donna and Harvey ever hooked up. And Donna says never and kind of looks off into space and then says, because you can't go back once you do. There's a couple of things that we have to call out for the sake of the fact that this show, for the most part, we feel like is timeless, okay? Yeah. They switch over from a BlackBerry to an iPhone very early in season one. The clothing still stands, in my opinion. Like, they still look very sharp. But two things are said literally back to back in this room that don't hold up now. It's just indicative that this was recorded in 2011. Rachel is going around and she's looking at all the basketballs and looking at all the things. And she was like, what is all this stuff? And then she picks up a pen. Donna says, oh, that pen? That's from the Trump scandal. And Rachel says, what Trump scandal? And Donna says, see?
See, it's old.
Yeah. See? Some of you, your faces are like, what? Meaning that Harvey got Trump out of a scandal, not all of them.
Can you imagine if Harvey really was Trump's real lawyer back in the day? And then right now we'd be reading in the news all about like Spectre.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah, but it'd be like Spectre. Like
yeah.
He'd be all over.
He would be.
Ooh.
Yeah. They said that he got Trump out of a scandal, and then immediately she starts picking up the basketballs, and she's reading them off, and she's like, don't touch those, don't touch those. Donna knows about all of Harvey's balls, and she knows which balls of Harvey you can touch.
Right.
But
not the ones that you can never go back from.
Right, not the ones you can never go back from. She starts to pick up Harvey's balls, and she picks up one from, I think, Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Then she picks up one from Larry Bird.
But she does not pick those up.
Oh, she doesn't, because Donna will not let her.
Yeah.
And then she starts to pick up Kobe Bryant's, and Donna goes, oh, it's Kobe's. He won't care. Ugh, does not sit well.
Oh, man.
Okay, we're only calling this out to show you that this show is not very current.
It was not written yesterday.
It was not written yesterday.
Okay.
And we are aware of how old this show is, yet we are still proceeding.
Yes.
Anyway, so those two things happen back to back. It's like wham, bam, problematic, more problematic. Rachel decides, while Donna says, I gotta go pee, which is kind of a drunk thing for Donna to say, she's gonna call Mike. And she leaves a voicemail and says, hey, I've been thinking about the kiss. I know I shouldn't call you because you're with Jenny, but I don't care. I don't ever want to go back. She leaves this voicemail, and then a little bit later, the voicemail alert pops up, and Trevor, who is staying with Mike, sees it and sees a voicemail from Rachel and goes, oh, that's shower girl. So he thinks,
shower girl he was going to walk in on.
Yeah, he thinks that's shower girl. He listens to the message and hears about Jenny. It doesn't bode well for Mike.
Which is also another boundary, right?
Yeah, Trevor doesn't have a lot of boundaries.
Trevor's like, I'm entitled to go pee wherever I want. I'm entitled to listen to all your voicemails. Yeah. I'll take a baseball bat and smash lamps. He's unstable. He's like very unhinged because the next thing he does.
Well, first I want to pause.
Oh, God.
I have another question for you. Another deposition, little mini deposition.
Okay.
Have you ever listened to somebody's voicemail that you shouldn't have?
I don't even know how to check my own voicemail.
Okay.
I don't even know. I literally have probably like 700 voicemails. I never listen to voicemails.
Okay.
I don't even want to ever listen to a voicemail ever in my life. You send me a voice memo, I'm going to LOL. I'm not going to listen to it. I'm going to assume it's like something funny, you know?
What if
like,
it's not?
Then oops. And then it's like, wait, what? And then I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I meant to say OMG. Like, I'm just like, no.
Okay.
No, I know.
Okay. But wait, I leave you a lot of voicemails.
I've never heard a voicemail from you.
But they're full of information. It's not like me saying, "Hey." I mean, it's there's content and information that you need to know.
It will come up again if it's important. Okay. It'll be like, "Did you listen to my voice?" And be like, "No, I didn't get a chance to." And then you'll tell me all the information. You know what I mean?
I won't leave you a voicemail. I've left you a lot of voicemails that give you
a
lot of information that.
How many voicemails do I have right now? And I clear them out because it runs out of room, and then people will get on to you like, your voicemail's full. And I'm like, okay, I'll delete them. I don't know. Oh, let's see.
I didn't
voicemails. Know. Cancel. Why is my...
Okay. Well, note to never leave Maggie a voicemail or a memo.
Let's see. How many voice... I have... only 84 right now.
Okay.
Amanda? What was the last voicemail you played for me? What'd you say to me?
Oh, it's probably come up again. Yeah. At some point.
I haven't missed
anything. Or I text you or I caught you on the phone because I'm a caller.
Right.
Because of my age.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I can still text, but I like to call so I can, talk it out. Okay. The answer to the question for me is I would never listen to anybody's voicemail. That is not something I would do in the grave.
You could listen to mine.
I'm not going to.
Okay, you could listen to mine and then tell me what they say.
No, I would never do that. I would never open anybody's mail. Do y'all get old mail? Do you get it? And you're just like, I would never open it. It's a very clear what the last owner of this home believed in. I'm just flooded with all of that. People wanted me to support it, and it's not what I'm going to support. So I usually throw it away.
The people who owned our house before were a director. Like a theater director. So I get like such pleasant things.
Oh,
I'm
really?
like, I would like to go there.
You're still getting that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
A decade later.
Oh, wow. That means my mail's all over this city. Just because I've lived in a lot of places. Okay. So that kind of wraps that up. Trevor. Yeah.
Trevor
walks in.
So the very last scene is Trevor in a suit at Pearson Hardman. And he's standing there and he's like, I need to talk to Jessica Pearson. And he's like, I need to tell you something about Mike Ross. We don't know what he's going to tell her.
And then it ends.
Yeah.
And then it ends. So something happened when we were watching the season finale. Because it rolls right in like it does, makes it so easy for you to binge watch. It did roll in to the next episode while we were still sitting on the couch.
Mm-hmm. And all I saw was the title of the next episode, which is She Knows. So I think I know what's going to happen. I think I know what Trevor was telling Jessica Pearson.
So do you want to go ahead with your predictions?
Yeah,
then?
I think he told her.
Okay.
I think he told her. I think Trevor told Jessica Pearson that Mike Ross is not an attorney, has never passed the bar, has never even gone to law school, that he used to take the LSAT for people, that he's a liar, a cheat, drug dealer, all of it.
You think he said all of that?
I think he spilled it all.
Okay.
And can I tell you how I think Jessica's going to react? I honestly think that Jessica's going to read Trevor for filth. I think she's going to be like, get out of my law firm.
Okay.
I protect my own. And then I think Trevor's going to leave. Whatever happens there, not quite sure yet. Then I think she's going to turn around and yell at Harvey.
Okay. So I'm going to let you make some predictions now. They can happen in season 2 or just in the first episode?
That's a first episode thing.
First episode.
I think, wouldn't it be weird if we didn't see it in the first episode? Oh my God. What if we don't see it? What if we just, God. Whenever you ask me the question and then I'm like, okay. No, I think that's going to happen. Okay. I'm confident.
All right.
Okay. I think that Mike will, for whatever reason, get mad at Rachel. And then they will smooch.
Okay.
A serious smooch.
Okay.
Some smooching and mooching.
Not third basin like Jenny and Mike, but just some smooching.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay. I don't really know what the bases are. That was a
It wasn't on the LSAT. So.
In my brief, I talked about bases because I mentioned the baseball bat. I don't know what base Jenny and Mike.
You said third base. I thought you were talking about them.
Yeah, I was, but I don't know what. I don't
know
what they've done.
I'm not going to explain it to
I'm
you.
not in their.
You can Google it.
I have 3 kids. I don't know what bases are. I only know home runs. Okay. So I think that they'll get mad and smooch.
Okay.
And I think that Harvey is going to do more bad things to be a good guy. I think he's spiraling a little bit. Like
he's going to try and redeem himself from these cases.
Because we know him as someone who's like, I don't do bad things. But now we're seeing him do some bad things. And he's already done a pretty bad thing by hiring Mike.
Yeah, for sure.
But he seems to think that's not a bad thing. But now maybe there'll be repercussions for him doing that.
Okay. Any other predictions?
Lewis will get more disgruntled. Grammy will open up season 2.
You think Grammy's going to be in season 2?
I think she's going to be in the first episode of season 2.
Okay.
She has to be, right?
Yes, sure.
Those are my predictions.
Okay.
Those are my predictions.
That's great.
I will say this was a great season.
It was.
Thank you for getting me into Suits.
Thank you for getting into Suits. Some of you here I coerced into watching Suits, so thank you so much. I started watching it because somebody mentioned it in class, and I binge watched it in 7 weeks, and then I watched it again because I was sad those people weren't going to be in my lives, which I think says a lot about me as a human, that I was worried about TV characters not being in my lives. And then now I'm on my 3rd time around. Sometimes I have to go back and watch it a 4th. So it is very much...
Sometimes I'll come over...
And it's just in the background.
And it's playing, and I'm like, what is this?
And I have to pause it really quick so she doesn't know.
I'm like, we're not covering this episode.
We're
not,
not,
no, I'm just
watching it just for fun. It's my hobby now. That wraps up this part of the episode. First of all, does anybody have, I guess, should we ask any questions that they might have?
Did we miss anything?
Did we miss anything?
Oh, you know what? Something that we did miss and didn't talk about. When Donna's in the kitchen, she's in the associate's kitchen to get all the gossip, right? Meghan Markle, Rachel is there. And Donna says, we need to talk about Mike. And Rachel's like, how did you know? And Donna says, I'm Donna.
Is that the first time she said that?
I think so. The only reason I know she says that is because you did it for a reel that I made you do.
Oh, yeah.
And you said, I'm going to say I'm Donna. I know everything. And people are going to laugh.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I spoiled it for you. And she does say that
a lot.
One more time.
I think that was the first time I heard her say that.
Okay.
So I thought that was important.
We normally do shout outs, but we just want to shout out all of you for being here. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you haven't had a chance to leave a review, then we'll check your phones before you leave. The door has been locked. And no, we would really appreciate that. This has been really hard because podcasting is not easy. I think we were talking to Christy the other day, and y'all did a class a while back, and like people think they're going to start a podcast. It sounds really easy, and it's actually a whole lot of work. Probably more work than we thought it was going to be. You knew.
Yeah, but again, I don't edit any of the episodes.
Yeah.
So I'm just
I'm just speaking for myself because I did not know how to log into GarageBand before this. So we decided we would, do a season and see what happened. After this season, we kind of had to make a difficult decision, decide if we were going to keep going or what we were going to do. So we've actually decided to do 2 episodes a week instead of quitting. So we're going to try 2 episodes a week.
That's mostly because it's hard for me to go a whole week between episodes because my job is to watch the show.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to leave it and not watch the next episode.
Yeah.
And then Amanda has to edit it, but whatever. So it's it makes more sense for me to watch 2 episodes a week.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're going to try and drop 2 episodes a week. We also
reserve the right
to go back on this at any given time or just to quit in the middle of it. But we're going to start that with season 2. We're going to drop 2 episodes a week so that Maggie can get through it quicker and we can keep up with momentum that is out there. So we have a couple of things that happened in season 7. Maggie came in with this banger of a brief. Okay. It really was what we thought would deserve the Briefy Awards. So we decided to go in our recap. We each picked some of our favorite briefs of each other. And then we took polls on Instagram. I guess we got it from mostly Instagram, a couple people messaging us. And so people were able to vote on their favorite brief. So what were the final 4 that were nominated? Do you remember?
Episode 3.
Episode 3.
Episode 7.
Episode 7.
Episode 9. Episode 10.
Okay. So we have a briefy. Okay. So we have the first briefy.
Which I got. Trophies are not expensive. Okay. I went and I had to pick out, I was like, do you have any underwear? And the lady was like, no. But I picked out this trophy. It's a dancing showgirl. And it does look like, if you look at her booty, it looks like she's wearing briefs.
Yeah.
And I thought this would be good because we sing
We sing and chair dance a lot.
Yes.
So.
And I would like to present the first ever Briefy Award to Amanda Austin for episode 9, her work writing, will the real Louis Litt please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up and apologize.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm very surprised to get this. And I just want to thank Louis Litt for really stumping us and giving me the inspiration. And also, of course, Eminem. And I will put this somewhere here in my house.
I think it should go.
It'll go up there. Yeah. We also have the Boxer Award. So the Briefies, that goes to the best brief of the season. We have the Boxer. And Maggie texted me and said, I'm ordering these just because I want to see what they look like in person.
They're great.
And these are the Boxer Awards.
They're so
and
little.
The Boxer, they are so little. The Boxer goes to the brief that was like subpar for sure. They just really, the person could have done a lot
Because
better.
we're honest.
We're
with our
very
own
honest.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I nominated myself, which is against the rules, but I like to operate in the gray. Maggie came up with the idea for the briefs. We had episode 1. It was kind of chaotic. We didn't really know what we were doing. We put a little bit more structure around it in episode 2. She was so excited for this idea. I was so excited. I would not shut up in episode 2, and I talked so much she didn't get to actually present the brief. So I'm giving myself a Boxer for being such a microphone stage hog.
But I was honestly just so enjoying it that I didn't even think I had a brief anymore. I was just so watching the show. I loved it.
Yeah.
So we both, I think.
We both did the Boxer. So we said that we would do this. So we were going to cut these Boxers.
In a ceremonial.
And this could be painful for some people. So we thought we would cut these Boxers up. So we're going to each have one of these to take home. So
Yeah.
Maggie can put it next to where she wins Uno. And I will do something like this. So that was the Boxer.
This is great.
Seriously, I want to thank you all for being here. This is kind of a random group of people that have either messaged us or we know they're watching. Also, we are 2 women who are making a podcast. And so we want to call out all of our other women podcast makers or creators that are here tonight, which is really cool. Michelle and Lauren. Sorry.
Meghan Markle.
This is all wine. This is all wine. Please follow them at Bravo Breakdowns. And then we have Heather and Christy from Sinisterhood. Make sure you're following them. And then Maggie also has another podcast. I don't know how she does this.
Because I don't edit any of them.
She doesn't edit them. But she's in another podcast with Sarah Adams called Unstable Topics. Mm-hmm. So make sure you listen to them. And then we also have Leslie and Laurie Collins, who are not here, but they host Sumo Kaboom. So these are all women in Dallas who are making podcasts. So if you want to promote and support female creators, we would love for you to do that, because that's super important to us. This is typically when we kind of end the show, right?
Oh, you want to try and end the show in front of a live audience?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can try.
Okay.
Thanks so much for tuning in. It's so hard to wrap up a podcast.
I think you should do this in post.
Okay,
Honestly.
we'll do it in post.
It takes 45
It does
minutes.
take 45 minutes. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate you all being here and being part of this podcast. If you want to listen, you can find us on Spotify or Apple or anywhere else you get your podcasts. Also, please make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And if you're there, you can say something nice and leave a comment.
Or else you can eat it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So we got through that. We have a couple
That was
of
really good.
Thank you.